So, Wyatt, how much does it matter to stakeholders, and how can these simulations of this data could be interpreted for the higher management or for the stakeholders?
Yeah, so we have this one particular client. We have meetings twice a week, and they want to understand how are we in hitting the date, and we use the date range. And the date range is 85 to 95 or greater percent likelihood, because they specifically have customers that they are using as beta testers, and the customers need to understand when they're going to receive the product. Being able to turn the feature flag on or off for things that are already in production. So they are communicating with their clients every single week and prepping them for delivery. In October is what we're shooting for.
Great. So, what are some of the risks involved with this? Do you think there's any pitfalls or challenges using these simulations in your projects?
The biggest challenge that I've seen is that people don't trust them. They say we'll give them a forecast and they'll say, "Well, that's not a number I like, so it can't be right." And one of the things that I've done to try and address that in the past is so say we've got a year's worth of data. If we're using something like Jira, Kanban, it's not unusual for us to have a lot of historical data. I'll take the first 6 months of that year, and I'll use that to forecast the last 6 months of the year. And I'll say, how many things do you think you got done in that last 6 months? Or how many things did the forecast say we would have gotten done? And almost every time it is right on the nose. And that's really, really eye-opening for these groups.
It's not exact, but it's usually very, very, very close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the example that I showed earlier, where the manager needed it by the end of May, and the CTO, he couldn't tell the CTO it was going to be in January, February. And when we came up with the strategy, and he was able to sell the CTO in early June without any problem whatsoever. So being able to see that and have that confidence, and that's where we were. They delivered it on the 15th, so greater than 85%, around 95%, 90%. And as a result of that, more teams started to adopt this approach and this technique.